Boysies and girlsies, we are returning at a bang with Brentford's review of how their season has gone. Pretty good work from the buzzy bees this year, I think it has to be said. For them to lose their manager, lose two of their best players, and finish ninth and lose out on European football by fucking goal difference. Absolutely brutal, but it's been a really good year for Brentford. Honestly, it has. Under the circumstances they faced, losing their captain as well, I think they've done so well. Losing the gaffer, that it's been a big one. For them to turn around in this fashion when I thought they were going to finish bottom of the league shows how much I know, and it shows why I am not sitting on Sky Sports panels. Even though they all thought Brentford would go down as well, but that's besides the point. Yeah, so let me get straight into the analysis, no wasting any time here. This game here, I remember, was so annoying to watch because look at the state of that. It's so frustrating playing Brentford this season. They did my fucking head in. Oh, what the hell? What is going on? Jesus wept. But yeah, this game was such a ball ache because we just haven't offered nothing, and they shut us out really well. But yeah, man, this was kind of the theme for Brentford. They were so defensively compact, so resolute, and so difficult to break down, and so inconsistent as well. Found it very hard to get together good form on a very consistent basis. A lot of good results in there. Fantastic result here against Man United. I remember this goal was a lovely little one from Jensen as well. Really good win here against Liverpool. I remember this game. This game was pretty cool. But yeah, they found it pretty hard to string wins together. Not a lot of draws at this point in the season as well. Beating teams like Wolves and Brentford, good stuff there. But yeah, through the winter months, struggling ever so slightly, and they come out the other side of it almost into Jan, beating Everton really well, beating Sunderland really well, and again, this game, I was there for this game. This game was did my fucking dome in. I was so like, it's just so frustrating. Watara has an absolute number, and I do not know why. But yeah, then they start to pick it up a little bit at this point. They're beating Newcastle, drawing to Arsenal was a really good one, and then this happened here. They were looking so on for European football before this point, like drawing to Leeds, drawing to Fulham, drawing to Everton. Like these two teams here, Everton, Fulham, teams in and around the European battle, drawing to Bournemouth as well, teams in and around the European battle, drawing against Wolves, who have been shit all season. This was part of their when they were ruining everyone's day. Leeds at Ellen Road, always a difficult game. Losing to United as well was unfortunate. Yeah, they just finished the season poorly, drawing to Palace, who was so on the beach at this point. They should have done better in that one. They even drew the last game of the season. If like that game could have got them into Europe, but Brighton, I mean, the teams did better. They didn't do enough on that day, that particular day. This was their winning this game. This is fair enough. But there are good results in here. A lot of a lot of good results, a lot of bad results. It matches the season really. They really fit in with the inconsistencies that were shown across the whole Premier League. It wasn't just a them thing. They're going to get an 8 out of 10 for me. Should they have got into Europe? Probably. They were in that battle for quite a long time, up until the last day of the season. They were knocking on the door, man. They were in European places at one point, looking nailed on for it. And in my opinion, your expectations do have to change as the season develops. I know they aren't a European team. I know they're not a team with European expertise, and I know this is their first year without their long-standing manager. But your expectations do have to change across the season. And for me, I think they probably should have just about got there. If they got there, then we're looking at a 9, maybe even a 10 out of 10 season. But yeah, 8 out of 10 for me, which is nothing to be shared. Like, they've had a really good year, and they should really be proud of themselves, honestly. Moving on to transfers now, and again, really not that bad. They made money, which is always positive, keeping their finances good so they can spend money if they need to. I wasn't sure about this Watara signing in the slightest at the time. I thought this was way too expensive for a guy who, in my opinion, really hadn't offered me a whole heap of a lot. But he was quite good this season. He had a pretty good year for me. I think he was a pretty good player there. Coyote for 17 million is a fantastic bit of business. This was really good stuff from Brentford, and he was probably one of their breakout stars this season. Kelleher, really solid in goal. One or two slower games to get started. A lot of hype around him, obviously. Very good reputation from Liverpool, but I think he was pretty good. And for 40 million, I think he excelled that price tag. Furo is good going forward. This guy, you can have him grow, develop under Thiago, get him some game time in the cups against the worst teams in the league. I think this isn't too bad of a move here. Not a lot of money spent, but I think he just need the chance to show himself. Henderson was a great little move. For free, for the way that he performed as well, a lot better than I personally expected. A lot better than everyone expected. Really, he was a really good pickup. Not having a good time at Ajax, didn't have a good time in Saudi. Getting back in England, getting back doing the beeswax. That is exactly what you want. And he did well, man. He played like the Henderson that we saw from a few years ago. Moving on to these, obviously these outgoings were the big story of the season. And Buemo, Wissa, Norgard, and even Flecken to an extent, to be fair. They lost their goalkeeper, their two best attackers, and then their captain. The fact that they got 57 million euros out of a guy who was leaving in a year was incredible. That is such a good bit of, such a sly move from them lot. And Buemo was always going to go, and I think 75 million. It's the Brentford way. They're used to this football by now. You sign good players, you sign unknown players for a cheaper fee, you build them up, and he's now gone to a massive club for a massive fee. Norgard leaving was a bit of a cheap one. That is a bit shit. I can't lie. That is not great. And Flecken, I wasn't really impressed massively by Flecken for me. They kept it concise. They kept it short. They only did business that they needed to do. Except for this, I think Nelson coming in was a poor move, and I didn't see a lot of this Milambo geezer. I don't really know how much football he played this season. I want to double check this now. I don't think he was doing too much. Yeah. Okay. So he tore his cruciate ligament. That is fair enough. Played one game in the Prem. Plays a bit more youth football instead. Okay, that's fair enough. A bit one more for the future. Um, I guess it's not too bad. I've never seen him play football in my life, but 20 million euros, it's a fair enough risk to take. It's going to be a 7 out of 10 for me. It's very concise. Also, I saw Romel Donovan at a house party once because he is from my neck of the woods. But yeah, it's 7 out of 10. It's very no nonsense from Brentford. They did the deals that they needed to do, and for me, that is kind of all that their doctor really ordered. Brentford have already been a slightly busy bee so far this transfer window. Yannick Schuster, I've heard a lot about and seen a little bit of, and I think this is a good signing. Someone young in that defence, I think that is a good move for them. Jaden Ante, I'm not so sure, to be honest. I think he was okay at times last year, had a good purple patch, obviously. If he's not going to be starting games, I think that's a decent move. He is good cover. I think that is fair enough to say. I don't necessarily hate it, but I think he could probably have done a bit better. I don't really mind this. Callum Wilson, he can offer a bit of mentoring, maybe start his coaching badges under Brentford and give Thiago and Furo a bit of mentorship as well. That little triangle in FM would be really good on that training. But yeah, let go of Onyeka for Carve 7 million. That's fair enough. Get Donovan out online. That's fair enough. Yeah, I don't mind this start to the it's the transfer window for Brentford. For me, you have to improve in the midfield. I don't hate really any of these players. Um, I'm not a big fan of. I'm not saying I'm not a big fan. I think you can do better than Jensen and Janelt. I quite like Yarmoliuk. I think he needs a bit of work though. I don't think he's the complete package yet. So maybe one, maybe two more midfielders I think would do the job, and then one of these two, one of Janelt and Jensen, I would be happy with letting go from a Brentford perspective. Elsewhere, Gaffer's good. Has to prove that he's not a one season wonder, but again, I think he's all right. I think he's fine there. I think they need another left back. I personally, I don't really like Keane Lewis Potter. I don't know what it is about him, but I'm not a fan. I can't really put a finger on it. I just don't think I think he's just a bit average. Rico Henry, I think isn't a bad backup, but I would be starting Aaron Hickey. Obviously, he's been injury issues, but he's a good player. But I think you need a bit more of an option there. Outside of that, don't mind Kaida at right back. Maybe a backup there, or maybe just keep Hickey as a bit more of a versatile option. I don't know. I don't mind. Elsewhere, are we looking at anything else that we need doing? Fine for strikers for me. Um, could they do with another wing option? I'm gonna say yes. You've got, for me, it's Shard on the left, Damsgaard in the middle, Watara on the right, and Tiago up front. You can get another body in there, a young player, a bit of competition. Someone like Paez from Chelsea on loan, maybe, or someone like Buonanotte, or maybe someone we've never even heard of because that seems to be the Brentford way. Someone along them lines, younger, a bit of pace about him, come off the bench, make a bit of work happen. That they could do with that. So for me, I'm going to lock in a left back option, one or two midfielders, and then a winger if you fancy it, almost kind of thing. Because I guess if you want to, you can move Jensen forward, you can move Damsgaard out wide. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 for next season. I'm not, no, 6 out of 10. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 for next season. I'm not 100% sure that Andrews isn't a one season wonder. I guess you'll have to wait and find out. The squad needs a little bit of work, but outside of that, I think there's a good core here. I think there's a good base of players. I think they're quite well coached. I think they're very well drilled, very organised, and it's a good set of lads. So I think I'm leaning more towards Andrews not being a one season wonder. I think he'll be decent, and I think he'll be fine going forward. It's just it's his second year in management, so you never really know. But yeah, it's going to be a 6 for now for me, but a strong 6, a 6 with room to improve. And this is how they rank compared to the rest of the boys. Second behind Palace in performance, which I think is fair enough compared to the boys here. They are second in transfers as well, just ahead of Everton, which might be a bit of a controversial one, but I think there's a lot less bad in there than for Brentford. And just behind Palace, Chelsea, Spurs for prospects for next season. It's very, for these two, I know it's very weighted on the fact that they are just bigger clubs, so you'd expect them to do better, but I think it's fair enough as well. And they are second there behind Palace. And that will be all from me for now. Thank you very much for watching, boys. It's been a pleasure as always, and have a good one in a little bit. See ya.